Hi everyone, just a quick video to just talk about, there's been a lot of talk on social media and obviously in the newspaper with the Sunday Times bringing out on the 12th of May an article that got a lot of people very upset with respect to grade 4 learners learning things that many parents would judge as not really age appropriate. And there's been then counter allegations from the education department that this is a form of moral hysteria and non-communication, and they'd never do something like that. And then also some great wisdom from 4SA speaking on the subject, and also from Family Policy Institute speaking into the subject. And so I thought just from Pinion's project side, I'd give you a little bit of just background to things that we could very well be concerned about, things that where we can go and do ourselves. We really empower you to go read up yourself on this whole sort of more the worldview that's informing the United Nations move and UNESCO's move, and particularly here from that we've seen with even in our constitutional court rulings, there's been research where it spoke about what is developmentally normative for minors to be involved in sexual behavior of one sort or another. And I think it's just good for us all to be aware that these ideas don't happen in a vacuum, even if the Department of Education insists that their research is all research-based and all above board and without values. I mean, that statement is completely and utterly self-refuting. And so I think we just all need to wake up to the idea that there are lots of ideas on the table. There's a diverse set of ideas, but there are values that are enshrined in our Constitution and that are enshrined in our law that protects children. And it's to these protection rights that we need to turn our attention as parents, as guardians, and as a society at large. So there are just a couple of names that I would like to mention to you, some academics that you can go read up. I'll post the links with this video that you can go, the names of the people, and maybe some videos you can go look at regarding comprehensive sexuality education and the agenda there. There's some great work being done by friends of ours. Sharon Slater from Family Watch International has done some great work on exposing the agenda from the United Nations side, or people at least in the United Nations or interest groups there that are trying to push a particular agenda through. And it's good that we know about that. When the Department of Education refers to UNESCO, they're not referring to a body that is without worldview or without moral stance. And so we certainly should not take that as being chastised over the knuckles for being morally hysterical, when as citizens we have a right to keep them accountable. And so let's just jump right in. I think it's a complex subject, so I want to just keep it simple and speak to maybe one or two academics that I think will be helpful for helping you understand the subject better. And the first one is Dr. Judith Reisman. She's done an incredible, it's been pretty much her life's work to expose the influence of a person called Alfred Kingsley. And Alfred Kingsley had some very, very strange ideas about sexuality, and particularly sexuality in children. And you certainly can see this maybe not as a sort of a consensus or some sort of underlying conspiracy, but certainly in worldview. You can see how that Kingsleyan worldview has filtered into most of the halls of academia. And it's particularly influenced here in UCT, where, I'm even told recently by a student, you struggle to get even academic supervision of anything that isn't, is it in any respect conservative in its view. So we're talking about a consensus really in a particular type of worldview, which is prevalent in the academic circles. And Dr. Judith Reisman has really done a great job in pointing to what Kingsley actually said, what his research entailed, and where he's made mistakes. And so I really recommend her work to you. I will post her name and a link to some of her work, her website. You can go and take a look, and I think that's really going to help you understand some of the premises and understanding behind these moves to sexualize our children, or to in the name of trying to prepare or protect children from the HIV pandemic, they are introducing very, very harmful behavior. And I think as parents and guardians, we, as the government, for and by and of the people, that of the people part is that we bear on our shoulders as citizens of South Africa the responsibility to not shirk everything to some nanny state, but to really be guardians of our community. And I think we owe it to our children to protect them against worldviews that are at odds with the large majority of South Africans. So Dr. Judith, another person that I would recommend to you is Dr. Marianne Leyden, and she's done a lot of work on permission-giving beliefs, and this is more to help you with your own children, not so much just to refute worldview and other things, but I think her work has definitely been very helpful. And then also Dr. Jennifer Roback Morse, she's a Catholic scholar and academic, and she's just written a really great book. We've got lots of very interesting, very challenging and thought-provoking things in there to do with the sexual revolution, and I highly recommend her work to you as well. So those are just some names to help you equip you to make better decisions, and I trust this video is helpful. We hope to make more of these sort of information videos to help empower you to make better and more informed decisions.